we'll create an account in GitHub, okay, which you have already done before the class. Okay, then here the steps are given, okay, how to create sign up, and then we'll create a new repository. Now we'll give it a name HTML app1. Always try to give the same name which is given in the exercise. Maybe not in this exercise, but most of the exercises, because the name is important for next exercise or some scripts or projects which we'll be doing. The same name is hard coded most of the times, so just try to use the same name. Okay, we'll be creating a new repository HTML app1. We can create public and private both. Okay, so initially we'll create public one. Okay, and for this exercise, don't forget to click on add a readme file. Okay, and then click on create repository. When a repository is created, it will be shown on the screen. Okay, and after this we also need to create a token. Okay, creating a token is very important. So generally earlier username and password were used, because when we'll clone it, okay, for clone, if it is a public repository, it will not ask us for credentials. Okay, but while pulling a private repository, it will ask us for credentials. Okay, so those credentials we need to create, and that is called as an access token. So we'll go to settings. Okay. In settings, remember this path, developer settings. In developer settings, we have to create a personal access token, okay, and keep it safe with you, okay, just like the AWS keys which we downloaded. Okay. And after that, we'll just clone it, add some files into it, and push it. So let's start. So I'll just use my AWS VM. There are some other tools as well, but let's today start with AWS VM. We can also use Visual Code, or Git Bash is also there. But let's start with our VM, Linux VM. Okay, you also try to do along with me. It's not very hard exercise. It's quite simple. So start your VM. Any VM is okay. So I'll just start my VM, which I already have. I'll connect using putty. Okay, till it gets started, we'll create our personal access token. So I'll go to my profile. Okay, and that will go to settings. Okay. In settings, at the end, you'll see developer settings. And go to personal access token. And don't use this beta one. We'll just use the token classic. Okay, and I'll create a new token. I already have one token, but I'll create one more for this class. And I have enabled MFA for this as well. Okay, you may not get this if you have not enabled. And I'll set the expiration. Yeah, you can say no expiration as well, but I'll keep it at 7 days. By token, like you can give any name. Okay, and don't forget to check all this. Okay, generally we forget this, and then most of the commands will not work. In production environment, maybe you'll have to give limited access. Okay, depending on what you want to achieve, but here we are giving all the accesses. So these are various access level of access which can be given. So I'm giving all access as of now. I'll generate a token. This is token generated. It will be shown on the screen only once. Once you go to the next screen or refresh it, it will not be visible. So I'll just store it in a notepad and I'll just save it. Okay, I'll need it this week or for a couple of days. I'm just saving it and I'll change it after this class. Okay, so my token is generated. I've saved it in a notepad. Okay, or you can also email it to yourself if you want. Okay, so the token is generated and we have downloaded it. Okay, now let's connect to our EC2 instance or any Linux VM you can connect. Just click on open. So I'm connected to my VM. It is Amazon Linux. Now let's follow the exercise. We have to create a repository. Okay, and the name of the repository will be HTML app1. So just click on this GitHub icon. So there are various methods to create, means various ways to create or various options to create a repository. Okay, when you click on this dashboard, okay, on the GitHub icon, okay, here one you will see one more option, one option, new repository. Okay, one more option is given here, new repository. Okay. So I'll just click here and I'll give the name HTML app1. So this already exists, okay, because I use it for various batches. So first I'll do how to delete. I mean, we'll see how to delete it. So I'll just go back here. I'll select my repository HTML app1. Okay, and sometimes you may also need to delete it. So this is the method. Go to settings. In settings, at the end you will see an option, delete this repository. Just click on I want to delete. I read and I'll have to type this to delete it. Now on the same screen, if you see, again we have seen an option new. So let's create from here new repository HTML app1. Okay, you can give any description. This is my app. We'll use it as a public. Click on add a readme file. Okay, and click on create repository. So a repository is created. Okay, and there are two methods to get this repository. This is a remote repository now. Okay, name is HTML app1. This repository, I need to work on it. So there are two methods. One is HTTPS method, other one is SSH, and GitHub CLI is also possible. So you need to download GitHub desktop. There also you'll get GitHub CLI, and then using desktop also we can GitHub desktop also we can manage it. It will give a GUI like interface. Okay, and it will also give GitHub command, okay, that you can use from our cmd directly. The other one is SSH method. In this we can keep our SSH keys here in the settings somewhere. Okay, but we are using HTTPS method. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so this is your URL and the format is, it will be always your username followed by the repository name, and at the end it will prefix as git. But even if you, while cloning, we can ignore this git. We'll just copy it and save it in the notepad. Now let's copy this and clone it. So I'm connected to my Linux system. Just say git clone and press enter. Okay, and if you see, it says cloning HTML app. Okay, and as it is a public repository, it didn't ask me for credentials. If you do ls, okay, if you see, this HTML app one is created here, repository ls. So it has only a readme file. Okay, so only that is downloaded to my system. If I do ls, I have a readme file, and now this is a directory. Actually it created a directory. Okay, but it is a repository. So how will you distinguish a normal directory with a repository? If you do ls-al, okay, al will give you hidden, a list of hidden files and directories. Okay, so if you see, there will be a .git directory. Okay, so it maintains everything about the versioning and all in this git locally. Now it started doing it locally. Okay, so there are various things that is not much important for us now, but it maintains some branches, config, hooks and all. Okay, but that's how a normal directory is distinguished from a GitHub repo. So we have cloned a repo. We'll create a new file now. So we created the token as well here. Now I'll create an index.html file. Cat index.html file. This is my web app, and just save it. Now before adding it in a staging area, committing it and pushing it to the remote repository, we need to do this. Okay, so why we need to do this? This is only for the first time we have to do. Okay, later on it will not say. So if you don't remember this command, when you do try to do git commit, it will give it on the screen itself. Okay, so first let's do the config of username. So it keeps the track of it using this. So for our repository, a user email and username is configured. Now I'll now do git add. So first command is git add. Okay, dot means whatever is there in the current repository or in the current directory, add it. Okay, then let's do git status now. So one of the command, it will give all the details. So it is saying your branch is up to date with origin main. Okay, I'll explain this, but changes to be committed. So it has added a file. Okay, new file is added, index.html, and it says that some changes are to be committed now. That is this one. And if you run the command git branch command, so it will tell you on which branch you are. So I'm on a main branch. As of now we have only one branch, and when I did git add, okay, it is added in a staging area now. Okay, so it's saying git restore -- stage file name to unstage it. Okay, due to some reason that I do not want to add. Okay, I changed my mind, so I don't want to add it in a staging area, okay, then we can bring it back. It won't be there in the staging area. Now if you see on the screen, this is a repository. I'll click on it and I'll do refresh, and if you see, the file is still not here. Okay, so git add will not add the file remotely. It is available only in our local repository, and this is the concept of a distributed git version control system. So we have a copy of it on my local laptop. Even if you can, if you want, you can also have the copy of it on your local laptop. Okay, so this is distributed way. Now git add is done. Now I need to push the changes to git remote repository. So I'll do git commit, and we should give us some meaningful message. So added index page, we can say. Okay. Now it said one file change, one insertion made, and again let's check the log. Git status, we can okay, your branch is ahead of origin main by one commit. Okay, git push to publish your local commits. Okay, so origin main means this is the original repository. Okay, this one, origin main, this is the remote repository. Okay, this is the original one, that's why it is calling it as your branch is ahead of origin main, though we are in the same branch main. Okay, we are, if you see git branch, we are still in the main branch, and it is saying that your local copy is ahead by one commit. So there are some commits which are still in staging area. If I do refresh, it's still not there. Okay, so we can also check the same using git log. Okay, so it is saying that the author, okay, with this email address on this date added this page. Okay, so this is how we can do audit as well. Who did what? It with every commit ID will be generated. So this is my commit ID. Okay, so my name and email address. That's why we added this here earlier. This one. So to track what is going on. Okay, again check git status. Okay, so we have done git add. Okay, so it is giving us the next command as well. We need to do git push. Okay, your branch is ahead of original branch by one commit. Just do git push. Okay, now it will ask me for credentials, even if it is a public repo, because we cannot push data to anyone's public repository. Okay, only you should be authorized. So here I'll just add my username. Okay, so how to get your username? Just click on this icon, your profile icon, go to your profile, okay, and this will be your username. Okay, it is also given in the repository name itself. Okay, so earlier we were here, so in the repository name here itself, this is your username. And this is here also you will get your username. So remember this is my username. Okay, and here don't provide your GitHub password, means the UI password. We need to give the token, only the token will work. Okay, now what it's saying, it has pushed it, and let's check git status. Now it's saying your branch is up to date with the origin main, means with the original main branch, remote branch. Your current branch is in sync. Main branch or repo is in sync. Nothing to commit, working tree clean. Now let's check the git logs. Okay, so it says that a commit is done. And now let's refresh the page. We can see an index.html file is now also available remotely on the remote repository HTML app 1.